Welcome to RCFieldbox.com. I'm Don Stegall from rcpro.org and rcpylon.tv. This is a continuation of the video series on the EME Electric Start from milehighRC.com. I have it on a brand new DLE-30. Not actually brand new, but it's never had gas in it and it's never been run or even flipped over really. I have the electric start mounted on it, but when I was getting the drive hub off, I wound up taking the crankcase apart and I have to replace the gaskets on it. And I don't have to take off this whole assembly to do that, but I want to show people how to tear down DLE-30s and then how to assemble one of these electric starts. It has supports that go from the lug to the plate that it's mounted on. First thing I need to do is take out the prop screws. And there's the prop washer. And on the DLE-30, there's a crankshaft extension that has threads in it. And one of the challenges is having wrenches that are long enough to get these off. And what I want to show you is actually the proper technique for taking this off. If it's been run with this starter on it, you will have used red thread locker on the crankshaft shaft extension, and it'll be hard to get off. So using this tool, this tool has a 3/4 inch hole drilled in it and holes drilled to match the pattern. I can't remember which size. I think it's actually an 11. It's actually the 12 millimeter. This socket set, I'll post a link to it. It's available on Amazon for a quite reasonable price. And then we have the crankshaft extension off. And now I have to take the screws out again. It has a key that holds the main gear in place. And it can take some wiggling to get it off. And sometimes a little assistance. Key's still in place, and you can see that there's a clamp clamping it to the, you can see that there's a clamp clamping it to the crankcase. So I need a smaller Allen wrench for that, next size up. And basically, that's what it takes to get this off. Originally, I got the auto start because I wanted to use it in our proposed RC Pro Warbird A racing class. Back when it was called P51 Giant Scale Racing. But the motor was going to stick out of the cow, and plus there's a little bit of a premium for this in terms of weight, not including the battery. It weighs 14.4 ounces for these parts, and the regular hub, actually I didn't have all the parts. For all these parts, it weighs 15.1 ounces as compared to 3.0 ounces. So you've got 12 extra ounces just for the electric start itself. Plus, for the switch, you've got another 3 ounces, 2.6 ounces. And if you use a 3-cell 2200 milliamp battery, which may or may not be heavy enough, you got 7 more ounces. So you've got about a 20 ounce premium to have electric start on your airplane. Now I will put the servos in the tail of my quarter scale Cub, and if this engine runs well and starts well, I'll get it mounted and get the Cub at least to the point where I can check the weight and balance. And if I can mount the servos in the back of the fuselage to get the balance right, I will. That'll mean if I ever go without an auto start, I'll have to add weight up front, but no big deal. So these are the electric start parts. And it comes with two different kinds of spacers. You can get the EME 35 engine with this pre-installed, and I believe it has the same mounting pattern as the DLE-30, OSGT-33, and numerous DLE clones. I'm going to put a stock drive washer back in place so that when I do the teardown of the engine video, people who have DLEs will know what they're seeing. And there's a slot for the key. And you just slip it right on. Now, the hard part with the DLE-30 is actually getting this off. Putting it on, no problem, but you have to use red thread locker. And I had gotten the 11mm socket for that, but that uses a 12mm socket, and this uses a 11mm socket. And if I was going to actually run the engine, I would use my DLE tool and tighten that thing down really well. So now I have a stock DLE-30 that needs the gaskets changed in it. And that'll be the next video. Thanks for watching. Hope you'll stay tuned to rcfieldbox.com. Please subscribe. And please subscribe to rcpylon.tv if you have any interest in RC Pylon racing at all. And also stay tuned to donstegall.com, where I put some personal stuff and things that don't fit in the categories that I've created with rcpylon.tv and rcfieldbox.com. Happy landings.